Empowerment is all about communicating, lifting each other, being mentors, helping each other, or just even calling to check on someone. For me, as a mom to 2 daughters, I spend a lot of time making sure that they're well. You know, those checking-in moments, hey, how are things going? Or just a little text message with a little emoji, you know, just making sure that as a female that we are lifting each other up, communicating, and just checking in. So that's really important to me, and making sure that women know that they have someone that they can lean on. So just being there, being available, and answering the call when, you know, the phone rings. So we all gotta be powerful. We've all gotta support each other. We all have to realize that we're all standing there together as the first for everything. And so for me, it's not about who's getting the credit, it's about being there and being that supporter. If you know that, hey, I have another female friend that's gonna be awarded, be there, be that cheerleader. We can change the narrative, but we've gotta be willing to change the narrative. We've got to be happy for each other. We've got to be sad for each other. But again, I think it goes back to the empowerment piece. We've got to make sure that we're there to help lead each other through whatever we're going through. But you're right, it's always a matter of, you know, they don't like this person because of X, Y, and Z. And we can't operate that way. I think we've proven as individual women that we are better together. We do more when we are working together. And I think it's important for us to always re-emphasize our support for one another. Coming up in a household with a mom who was very supportive of me and my sister, it instilled in me what I wanted to see in my children and even in my children's friends. You know, we have a lot of children that come over, and my house is always full of young ladies giggling and having fun. But sometimes I jump in and I talk to them about, you know, where do you see yourself? How's school going? And starting at such a young age. But I think it's important to make sure that we're instilling positivity. We're instilling the ability that you can be whatever you want to be. I have a 14-year-old up and coming high school student, and then I have a 22-year-old who's gonna graduate in May, and she wants to be a doctor. And you know what? I'm supportive of that. Wasn't the track that I chose government, but I have to push her and tell her every single day, you can continue to be what you want to be. And I think that's the same thing here. You know, as the manager, we have a workforce of up and coming individuals in this organization that just happen to be women. And so my job is to not only be that mentor, but to empower them to want to do more, to empower them to make mistakes and to learn from those mistakes, and to continuing to be an ally to make sure that we are being recognized. Because sometimes it is a male-dominated industry, but you know what? We don't have to make it about that. We need to make it about what we're able to do as individuals, and maybe take that, you know, I'm a female stigma off of it, and just show that we're capable of doing just as much as anyone else is capable of doing. So we've got to increase our network. We've got to step outside of our comfort zone. We have to break down the barriers that we create. We can't operate in silos. We have to understand that we may be great at one thing, but there's always someone else who's greater at something else. And I think it's important, again, you hear me talk a lot about mentoring, finding that person who may not be like you, but can help guide you. And I think mentorship, networking, quarterly lunches. Hey, let's get together at Queen Bee Coffee, one of our little local coffee shops here. Let's sit down for 30 or 40 minutes and just talk about what's going on in your life. But I think networking, mentorship, and keeping the lines of communication open are what I see as some of the biggest things that we need to do to enhance our network and to enhance our ability to reach out to those individuals that may feel like, hey, nobody's here to help me. So I think networking, communication, mentorship.